There was a video I made a while ago titled The 2045 Crisis, and in this video I spoke about a literal extinction event, a catastrophic event that is going to occur in the year 2045 where sperm levels will reach zero. And if you didn't watch this video will basically be a continuation of it. If you didn't watch it, go watch it and then come back to this one. But in that video I was called schizo, I was called crazy by people I literally knew in real life, in person. They call me schizo, they call me crazy, simply for highlighting things. The thing that's so unfortunate is they never had the creativity to look at this from an outside perspective, from a perspective that's not just like, oh, let me listen to my government because they have and they know everything that's good for me. Bullshit. At the end of that video I said I'm going to expose all the elites, I'm going to expose the damages that they've did to us and did to our bodies and to our health. I said I'm going to expose everything, and in this video I'm going to do exactly that.
Deli cheese in a plastic bag, bread in a plastic bag, almond milk in a plastic jug, blueberries in a plastic carton, paper towels in a plastic wrap, peppers in plastic bags for your produce, meat wrapped in plastic.
Researchers at the University of New Mexico sampled 47 dog testicles or canine testicles and 23 human testicles, and they discovered microplastic contamination in all samples. The most common types of microplastics found were polyethylene and PVC, and these are commonly found in plastic bags and water bottles. Very interesting. Now let's talk about how the hell this even happened. How did this happen, and how did it get to the point where in literally every single animal testicle and every single human testicle, you, me, your father, your brother, every single male you know has microplastics in their testicles? How did it get to this point? How did it get to become this bad? In the 1950s, we first discovered the use of plastics, and it was incredible. Economic boom started happening. Everyone started making, businesses started making money, big money. It was good for the world, or so we thought, because it was lighter, it was easier to make, it was quicker, disregarded the use of heavy metals and stuff. It was just a simplified process, and everything was becoming more streamlined, and more money was to be made, and it was lighter. Like I said, it was lighter, easier to use, more user friendly, easier to use by children, less heavy, all these things, right? And plastic was amazing. It was so good. Economic boom, we were so happy. Plastic was amazing for the world. It was amazing for the economy. It would make all our lives easier. Little did we know about the catastrophic consequences that would emerge 50 years later. See, the thing about plastics is it does not biodegrade. It does not biodegrade. If I chop off your arm and I throw it into soil, worms will eat it, it will decompose, and all that will be left is possibly your bones. But even bones biodegrade. Everything biodegrades. Everything that is made out of carbon, oxygen, everything living, everything organic in nature biodegrades. The grass, the trees, the soil, the worms, the dead bodies, the water, everything biodegrades. Every single thing known to man biodegrades. Everything that is in nature, even the metals biodegrade. Except plastic. Plastic does not biodegrade. Plastic stays there forever. It never biodegrades. What happens is it breaks down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. It just gets cut into half and half and half and half. And these halves, these tiny pieces of plastics, are what we call microplastics. You see, in the 1950s, when we started making these plastics and making water bottles and plastic tools and plastic everywhere, we thought everything was great and happy, and scientists were like, yeah, this is fine, let's keep on making it, because economic boom, money. Keep in mind, money was the cause for this possible human extinction, and we'll talk about the human extinction part in a second. But money was the root of all of this. We wanted more money, we wanted to make more quick, cheaper, and faster products, and so plastic came about. But it was only in the 1990s and the 2000s where scientists started looking around and thinking, wait, hold on, we find this shit everywhere. Why are there microplastics not only in the deepest part of our oceans, but also in the Arctic ice, on the top of mountains, on the top of Mount Everest, at the bottom of the Mariana Trench? Why are they everywhere? Hold on, this is a big fucking issue. There's this shit everywhere. And the Ellen MacArthur Foundation is basically this company that strives to basically achieve economic booming without the degradation of the environment, of our health and everything. And they report that by the year 2050, there is going to be more plastic in the oceans by weight than fucking fish themselves. Can you imagine that, bro? More plastic in the ocean than literal fish? The organism that basically lives in the waters. The organism, like, you think of ocean, all you think of is fish, shark, octopus, just submarine animals or aquamarine animals. That's what you think of. And there will be more plastic than the weight of every single fish combined. How fucked is that? By the year 2050, this is going to happen. And it's so coincidental that this year aligns with the 2045 crisis. How coincidental. So how can these tiny little pieces of plastic fuck with our health? Because microplastics are just pieces of plastic shorter than 5 millimeters in length. How can these tiny little things affect us big humans with, hundreds of millions of processes happening in our body? Well, the thing is, these microplastics are everywhere. They are in our water, they are in our air, they're in our food. Bro, you think you're eating healthy food? I think I'm eating healthy food when I have like a steak or like a salmon or fish. They have fucking microplastics in them too. The grass they eat, contaminated with microplastics. The oceans we eat, like we fish our salmon from, filled with microplastics. It is everywhere. It is completely unavoidable. Everything you eat, it's in your air, bro. The air you're breathing right now, the air I'm breathing right now, it's filled with microplastics just floating around, because when it gets to like a level where it's less than 0.5 millimeter thick, it's less dense than air, it just floats. It's everywhere, and we're breathing it, we're drinking it, and we're eating it. Decades upon decades upon decades of doing this since you were born. You were born and you were given pacifiers, those like little binkies that babies suck on, day in, day out, just to shut the child up and not make it cry. You were shoved that shit into your mouth, fucking up your health. You drank milk from a plastic bottle, from these like silicone/plastic things, and you were drinking them as a child, where you are most vulnerable and you are most critical to damage. All of these humans are just being fed and fed and fed this plastic bullshit since they were born as little babies. And how coincidental is it that infertility crises are happening, that health crises are happening, the degradation of spermatogenesis. I'm gonna speak about this in a second, but how coincidental is it that these things are happening? And all of this shit causes inflammation in your body. It causes inflammation where like you start breaking out, you start getting like pimples everywhere. It starts fucking up like inflammation inside your arteries. It causes oxidative stress, which means you clear toxins in a less efficient way. Any toxins you have, whether it be like omega-6, omega-3 imbalances from the shitty seed oils and industrial lubricants you eat, or like the garbage sunscreen you put on yourself, which is supposed to be good for you, which it isn't at all. All of these toxins are just getting expelled at a less and less efficient rate. So you're putting in the toxins, and then you're putting in the thing which makes these toxins harder to get rid of, which are the microplastics. It causes cellular death and damage. At the cellular level, these microplastics fuck you basically. And this is all bad enough. It destroys our health, and it destroys how we feel, it destroys the world. But the worst thing is the endocrine destructive properties of these microplastics. What microplastics do is it completely destroys spermatogenesis, and it completely crashes testosterone. Spermatogenesis is the creation of your sperm cells. Your sperm is being created in your testicles, and spermatogenesis is this thing. What microplastics do to you, bro, is it fucking destroys your sperm cells. I'm gonna show a picture of sperm morphology, like a little lesson in sperm morphology. Sperm morphology is how your sperm cells are shaped like. Some of them are like shaped normal with one head, one tail, or like a normal length body. Some of them have like 3 heads, 2 tails. This is like fucked up shit. And this happens because of these microplastics. It happens and it fucks your spermatogenesis. It cuts down the production of that, which causes infertility. It causes infertility, and it causes couples to like break down and cry because they're ruined lives, because they ruined their lives from these microplastics. It causes the crashing of testosterone, which makes you feel like shit. It makes you unambitious. It makes you like unable to attract the opposite sex, which is women in our case. It makes you unable to do shit with your life. It makes you just this empty shell of a man. It makes you depressed. I go through so much shit on a daily basis that like would fucking destroy people. But I just don't allow that to happen to me. Number one, because of testosterone, and number two, because of stoicism. Like, testosterone allows me to have a good mindset when all of this bullshit happens to me. It allows me to think properly. I deal with so much shit, man, and I'm still fine. I'm happiest even in the darkest times. Yet, even in happy times, people with low testosterone just exhibit depressive symptoms. How sad and unfortunate is that? Testosterone is like the male elixir of life. It's like mana in video games. You know how there's like a health bar, a stamina bar, a mana bar. A mana, like, you use mana bars to kind of use your weapons and use your tools and use magic in these kind of like magical, almost like Terraria, like kind of video games. You know what mana is if you're a video gamer, bro. But it's just basically this bar that allows you to do things, to use your weapons, to use your tools. Without testosterone, you're useless. You will feel like shit, you will act like shit, you will act like this shell of a man. It's hard to fight an uphill battle. You wanna make money, you wanna get a beautiful woman, you wanna make muscle. All of these things come from testosterone. If you don't have it, you're gonna fight an uphill battle. And this uphill battle is being caused by all of this microplastic bullshit that's fucking us. This is why we're seeing so many infertility issues. Right now, 1 in 3 men are infertile. If you look at the study, which was like 10 years ago, where they published this, it's 1 in 6. 1 in 6 men are infertile, and with the exponential growth of infertility issues, it's gotta be around 1 in 3 at this point. But they hide the statistic from you because they don't wanna show this problem to the world. They don't wanna show, yeah, we're getting fucking cooked because of money, basically, because we wanna make more plastic bullshit products because of economy. This is why men are getting weaker and weaker and weaker and less ambitious and more effeminate and just softer. Nobody has the drive and the spark anymore, and it's so obvious to us why. Sperm count has already plummeted 50. Yes, an entire 50% in half in the last few decades. Imagine that, bro. Imagine like having a worldwide average and then you cut that in half. Imagine cutting like the lifespan of a human in half. Like the lifespan of a human on average is what, like 70, 80 years now? Imagine if that just became 40. That's a fucking huge thing. But we don't talk about the sperm count because, hey, let's just sweep that problem under the rug. Who cares? Money, feminism. The science realm is very sexist when it comes to like male problems, when it comes to testosterone problems, and it's just so unfortunate to see that. Of course, there are the lifestyle changes that fuck your sperm as well. The stupid alcohol you drink, the drugs you take, the vapes you eat, the vapes you smoke, the food you eat. Of course, all of these lifestyle changes are one of the reasons of the sperm count plummet. But one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is this microplastic crisis. You know, bro, you can make however much money you want to make. You can become a millionaire, you can become a billionaire, you can get all the women you want in the world, but there will come a point where you realize you're gonna be gone, man. You're gonna be gone and none of this shit matters. Yeah, you enjoy life in the short run, but the only thing that will truly matter once you're gone are those you leave behind. Those you leave behind and what you leave behind. And imagine the sadness, the hopelessness that you're gonna feel when you are literally unable to procreate. You can't have a child, bro. Visualize it right now. You're with your woman, the woman you want to be the mother of your children, the perfect woman, and you're unable to have children with her. You're hopeless and you're frustrated. You're frustrated because you think there has to be a solution. You want a child, but you just can't have it. It can't come from your own blood. You literally are unable to have a child. Pause the video right now and visualize yourself in 10, 20 years when you want to have a child, but you can't. You can't unlock this whole chapter of your life. You literally cannot be a father. That little girl you want, that little boy you want to raise, you can't have it no matter what you do. You cannot reverse the damage. You're infertile and this is the end of your bloodline. It is the complete end of your bloodline, and the only hope for you is to inject another man's sperm through surrogacy into your wife and have a child that is not yours by blood. Your bloodline ends with you. You know, no amount of money could save you this. If you found out that you were infertile and there's nothing for you to do to get your fertility back, no amount of money is going to save you. Nothing is worth being fertile. It's like it's worth infinite amount of money. Money isn't even like it blows money out of the water. Millions upon billions. If I asked a billionaire who wants to have a child, bro, I'll give you fertility again, the guy would pay me billions. Money is completely irrelevant when it comes to this. This is your fucking health, man. It's your health. Fuck the money you want to make. Forget the fucking money, bro. You have this bullshit, you have this crisis, you have an opportunity to save your entire bloodline from extinction and you're worried about money. So what can we do, man? In reality, we can't really do anything, to be honest. What can we do? And like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. With the plastics everywhere, man, like this fucking remote that I used to change the colors of the lights, my phone case, like there's plastics in the fucking watches and the clothes and the polyester and everything. It's just everywhere. There's really nothing we can do. The foods we eat are contaminated. The air we breathe is fucking contaminated by plastics. What can we do about this? In reality, nothing. But does this mean we just accept defeat? We accept the suffering? We accept the end of our bloodline? No, it doesn't. What it means for you now is you must try and reduce the amount of plastics. Like, stop touching plastic shit, stop touching the receipts, stop. Like, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper into this topic. You will find that this is a rabbit hole. I just barely scratched the surface with this video. We can go as deep as possible with this, but just try and reduce the amount of plastics you touch and try and live healthy, man. Stop having these shitty lifestyle change. Like, stop the vape, stop the fucking shit food, stop the garbage, go exercise, do all the things that we know are good for us. And I have been going on rants upon rants upon rants upon how many times I've been telling you, go lift, go take care of yourself. This is one of the reasons, because you get to fucking continue your bloodline. Or at least you try to save your bloodline. Because honestly, man, this shit is fucked. This is really, really fucked, and there's really nothing we can do about it. But over the past few months, I've been working on a secret project that could possibly fix all of this. It could literally change the world. I've been working on this shit for months upon months, and it's very hard for me to do because scientists don't give a fuck and they don't release data and they don't release research and they just don't fucking care about this. So I have to go on my own and dig the depths of literature and research and just go explore shit on my own and make this secret project that I'm working on that can solve this epidemic, this crisis. And this project is called Biogen.